because when you're able to handle your cravings, I'll be honest with you, almost 60% of your journey is done. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another weight loss video. My name is Louisa Jane, for those of you that are new here, and if you're returning sub, thank you so much for coming every time. If you're new here, do not forget to subscribe. So as you can see in the title below, we are coming to talk about how I handled my cravings on my weight loss journey. Those of you that are new here, in the course of the video, I'll be inserting videos of how I used to look and how I look now. I've lost over 33 kg, which is about 72 pounds in a space of 6 to 7 months. I lost most of the weight that early, and now all I'm doing is to maintain it and lose maybe 1 kg here and there, but I don't want to go down so much. I just want to tone up and look good. And this is what I did in terms of cravings. I have explained much more into details what I did on my weight loss journey, but this is limited to how I handled my cravings. And before we get into the video, I think cravings are more frustrating when you have eaten and now you would want to eat something else. When you usually crave for food and you haven't eaten, that is a bit more relaxing. But what makes it a little bit frustrating is after you are done with your actual meal, you know you're probably okay or you're probably satisfied, but you'd want to munch on something or you'd want to eat another thing because you are craving. And it is normal, you are human, you've probably been doing this for some time now, and so it is so hard for you to let your cravings go. This is the few things I personally did to make sure I wasn't craving all the time, or to make sure I wasn't eating things I don't want to eat all the time. The first thing I did was to get to the root of my cravings. First thing first, that's what I did. I think when I started the weight loss journey, I really did not have issues with a lot of cravings because I did not really cut off almost everything. I cut off just some few things, like maybe fries, deep fried chicken, a little pizza here and there, the noodles, because I know how much I am attached to that food and how much I love that food. I could eat 3 plates of any of the foods I mentioned. I could eat about 5 plates of KFC, I don't mind. I could eat about 6 croissants at a sitting, I don't mind. And I would also top up with my main meal. And so the food I felt were my weakness, not because it is necessarily unhealthy, but it was just my weakness and I needed to cut it off. When I cut it off the early points, I wasn't really struggling with it until after 2 months. I started struggling with my cravings. Now I wanted the KFC, now I wanted the fries, now I wanted to finish my meal and go for a different whole meal. And it wasn't even just the junk. I wanted both junk, both healthy at the same time. Sometimes I could crave for fufu and yam on the same day, and those foods are high in calories, heavy at a go, and I was just craving for them on the same day. So the first thing I did, as I mentioned, was to get to the end of that problem. When I started my weight loss journey, I think 2 months into my weight loss journey, my bestie traveled outside the country. We used to live together. We've lived together for over 10 years, and she just left. I was in my journey, and I happened to break up with my man at that time. So it was the same timeline, and it became a little frustrating for me, and I became lonely. So I realized when I was lonely and there was nothing to do, nobody to talk to because I don't have lots of friends, I started eating. I had come far, I had started seeing results, but I was mostly alone all the time. When I'm tired of watching movies, when I'm tired of not getting anybody to talk to, when I don't have work, I just keep cooking to get my mind off things. I sat down and I realized that no, I have been able to do this for 8 weeks now, and in the 8 weeks I was doing well. So what brought me back to this habit? I realized that it was because I was very lonely at that season, and all I could do was to, you know, eat to feel comforted and all that. That is normal. But when I realized it's because I was alone and I was resorting to food, now I decided to start doing new things. I started going on dates by myself. And in Africa here, I don't want to say Africa, but let me limit it to Ghana. In Ghana here, from wherever you're staying, unless you're very, very close to town, which is not really common, you may have to travel like an hour or 45 minutes to get to where the fancy restaurants are, or where the good food are, or where fun is. And so by the time I travel all the way to that place to go and eat by myself and come back, I am exhausted, I have eaten, I am satisfied, I've enjoyed music, I've met new people. And so now gradually my mind started going off the food. I started making new friends. I realized, okay, I don't have lots of friends. So the friends, probably we fell apart, and I realized the reasons were not so valid. I reached out to them, we mended our relationship, and then I started making new friends, talking to people, being more friendly, creating content as well. And so now I always had things going for me. I was always getting to work early, trying to close late, trying to keep myself busy to get my mind off food. So I actually went down to the root of why I want to eat all the time, and I realized it was because I was lonely. So I dealt with the root problem, and now I stopped craving, because I mean there was no time to even crave and eat in the first place. The second point, I personally think it's personal. Nobody really told me this, or I didn't see it on the internet, or I didn't come across any video of anybody saying this genuinely. It just came on top of my head, and it really worked for me, was sabotaging my cravings. And I share this a lot. So most of the time when I'm craving, especially after I have eaten, when I'm craving for any food at all, I go for the direct opposite. That was more like the consequences I had to face for craving, for not being able to control myself. That was the consequences I gave myself. So on days I'm craving for croissants, or on days I'm craving for yam. I love yam. So on days I'm craving for those foods, and I have already eaten, and I know it is not hunger, it's just craving to keep my mouth busy or to take my mind off things. What I did was to sabotage it. This time I am craving, I just sent my kid sister to go and buy me bananas, and it was so hard to eat them because I did not like them. So all the time I'll go like, please grab me just 2 fingers of banana, just 4 fingers of banana and some nuts, and I'll eat when I feel like I can't control myself. Then again, this would also top up with the sabotaging. When you sabotage your cravings, let's say you were craving for pastries, you went for fruits. You were craving for extra rice, you went for nuts. At a point in time, your cravings would automatically change for you to start liking the things you did not like. One thing I've come to realize is that when I'm sitting there randomly and I want to eat something for eating sake, not because I am hungry, I automatically start craving for nuts. And so for some funny reasons, I've even bought a bottle of peanuts, I bought cashew nuts. I did not like all these things, especially cashew nuts. I was used to eating the fruits. I never liked the nuts because I didn't even know how it tasted. But now I've bought a bottle of each, because now these are the things I crave for, because I started sabotaging my cravings. So one tip I think you should go for is to sabotage the craving. Are you craving for fries but you've eaten? Please look for something else. Grab peanuts, butter and apple. Grab some pineapples. Grab some food that is so hard for you to eat it and use it as your punishment for your consequences, and it would go a long way. Another thing I also did was to make sure I leave whatever I am craving for, or I would easily crave for, at the store. Make it as inconvenient as ever. So one thing I did, and I think this one my colleagues really helped me, or they also did the same, or we all did the same, was to delete all the food apps on our phones. Food apps are easily accessible. I have my card on my food app, so I don't even have to put in the card in again. It was just deducted from how do you call it, my card and deliver the food to me. So first off, I deleted my card from all the food apps, and I deleted all my food apps. The one that really pained me was Glovo, and when I heard they were out of business, I was so sad because I deleted my Glovo first thing. Because when it's actually convenient, you just say one last time, let me just buy this one last time. I mean, I've already bought this ice cream from the supermarket. I can't watch it for it to go bad. I can't just watch this particular food for it to go bad because I bought it already. Let me just eat it one last time. And I'll be genuine with you, there's never one last time. There's always a day that you tell yourself, this is my last time and I won't take it again. But you happen to take it again. So leave your cravings at the store. Block it, make it inconvenient. So all the time when I started craving for things that I was able to let go, or things that were slowing my progress, anytime I try going to App Store, put in my password, create a new account, put in my card, the whole conscious process was too much for me to take. I'll go like, no, this is too much. I promised myself not to do this. I'm not wasting my data bundle to waste my time to do this. So I left it at the store. I won't even pick it up and bring it home and come and tell myself that I already bought it. I stopped buying flour because I love pancakes. I love spring rolls. And for those of us that love to cook and cook well, and like our food tastes good, it's so hard not to make it for yourself. You end up making it for yourself. And so I stopped buying flour. So I left the flour at the supermarket. I stopped buying flour until recently. I barely use flour these days. So I left it at the shop. I made it very inconvenient for me. I made it so stressful for me to get so close to the food. I made sure the food I like, it's about an hour away from me, and so there's no way I could get this food. I just have to fix something else for myself, or I just have to let it go. So that really helped me. I'm thinking that is number 3, right? And so number 4 will be change your social media feed. This is very personal to me, but I feel like most of us in this situation also have an experience with this. I am that one girl that follows Akosia cook or a pa, girly food, this person food, this person pastries, pasta queen, like everyone that cooks. Like I follow them. I love food and I would love to recreate it for myself. So at a point, anytime I open my Instagram feed, there were a lot of food, and I always wanted to create that and eat it. Because I'll be honest with you, if you're a food content creator, what makes us love your content is how the food looks, not how they taste, because there's no way we can ever taste them. And to make your food look good, because I've created food content before, and so I know what to add to a particular food to make it look good. And it's always the extra cheese, it is always the extra oil, it is always the extra meat, it is always, I mean, you can't create food content and put one meat on it. You will not get a lot of followers. And me looking at it may want to crave for that, and in my attempt to create or recreate whatever the food content creator puts out there would make me want to do the same thing the person did. It made me just change my feed. Now I started watching cars, I started watching nails, I started watching hair, I started watching skincare and all these things, including traveling and tours and all that. And now my feed changed. And so when I open Instagram, TikTok or YouTube feed, the feed I get is different. And so now I would, instead of wanting to crave for a particular food I saw, I'd rather want to travel, I'd rather want to try this thing, I'd rather want to try this particular dress, I'd rather want to combine these colors and see the turn out. And it really helped me. So if you're someone that your feed is just food, your feed is food related, please change your feed, because it has a way of playing on your mind and making you crave after you've eaten. So I changed my feed and it really helped me in a long way. The other thing also will be eating your cravings. This one is advisable after you've done all these things and you have a hang of yourself and you know this food is not your weakness again. After I lost some of the weight, after I had self-control, after I had a lot of knowledge, now I started eating my cravings. I started eating my cravings by sitting down to analyze myself and know that today I feel for KFC. That is what I want to eat. And I know when I eat KFC, I would not want to eat my fufu. And if you are watching this, please, free advice. If you're an adult, do not eat more than 3 streetwise, okay? Please do not. Especially when you're on your weight loss journey, do not eat more than 3 streetwise. And I can relate with KFC better because in our part of the world, we do not have McDonald's yet. We do not have Starbucks yet. We do not have so many food joints yet. KFC is popular. Burger King is popular over here. So if you're on your weight loss journey, do not go over streetwise 3. So I assess myself and I know today all I want to eat is KFC. Then I don't bother myself to eat. I sit down for about an hour or 2, making sure that genuinely it is KFC I want to eat or nothing. Making sure that genuinely today it is croissants I want to eat or nothing. Please, the French people, do not come for me, but that's the best or that's the accurate way I can pronounce it. But after this assessment and I get to genuinely know that okay, this is what I want to eat for the day, now I eat my craving as a meal. I don't wait and battle with myself and keep saying, no, I really do not want KFC. No, I really do not want Burger King. No, I really do not want that wrap. Let me just eat my yam. Let me just manage. You manage the yam and still realize that the KFC is at the back of your mind. When you could have just waited for about an hour or 2 and eat the KFC as your main meal and you're done for the day. Eat the burger as your main meal and you're done for the day. So sometimes when you come to me and you go like, you feel like eating junk, and I'm like, you've just misinterpreted junk. I'll talk about it on another video, but you've just misinterpreted it. You could actually eat it on a particular day as your main meal and you're good to go. So please, after you've handled all your cravings and you've handled it mentally and in a better way, make sure you're eating your cravings, just that eat it as your normal meal with no attachments, knowing that the following day you could equally eat your yam and you're good to go, knowing that you could actually go a month or 2 after you ate this particular craving and you're done with it until another time when you're genuinely craving for it, not because you eat it this week and then just say, oh, I ate it this week and it was okay, so let me eat it next week. No, after you've gone through the first process, now you can come to eating your cravings as your main meals and you're good to go. The last point, I told you this video is going to be short. The last point will this is so funny, I don't know how to say this, but let me just go ahead and say it as it is. The last point to handling your craving will be a little emotional blackmail, because I just go ahead and be honest with you, weight loss is a mental journey more than the physical journey. It has everything to do with how you are able to discipline yourself, how you are able to play on your own mind, how you are able to handle your mindset. It has nothing to do with what you are eating. I'll be honest with you, it has everything to do with your mind. If you don't handle your mind well, there's no way you can do this, because handling your mind well would make you know, I'm not supposed to eat this at this time, I'm not supposed to take this, I'm supposed to wake up and be active and all that. It has to do with your mind. So I just tell you that blackmail yourself. Yes, blackmail yourself. That is my last point, and it really helped me. And this would really help you after you've gone through the journey and probably you are a week or 2 or 3 weeks into it. I mean, you've done the hardest work. I feel like weight loss always starts with 1 week. You just do not know. When you get to the first week right and you decide to get to the second week right and you decide to get to the third week right, that is all. You might keep getting it right if you fix your mind and know that I got to the first week right, I got the second week right, now I'm unstoppable. I just keep getting it right. And so when I got into that phase, I was like, no, anytime I'm craving, I just look into the mirror, look at my stomach, look at my form, and I tell myself, I've come this far, I am not going back. I tell myself, I am a week into this, there's no way I'm going back to where it starts from day 1. All the time, I look at my clothes, I look how I don't look good in this picture, I look at how I'm always trying to hide my arms, I look about how I'm always, you know, triggered easily when someone talks about my weight. I go through all that thing all over again. I blackmail myself to an extent. Maybe blackmailing is not such a good word. So let me just say, I'll remind myself of all the things I've gone through being overweight, how I started on day one, and how giving up will just make me start from scratch all over again. So that is what I did. So that is what I did. I was either blackmailing myself or reminding myself that no, I can't go through this all over again. I can't wake up at dawn to work out again. I can't, go through this and not see results. Because when you start your weight loss journey, I'll be honest with you, the first 2 weeks, you are standing in the mirror to see whether there is results. And there's a part of your mind that convinces you that there's actually a result. You just have to look harder. And so if I think about how I would have to put myself through all this emotional torture of wanting to start again from scratch and all of that, I just let my cravings go and I just live my life. So work on your mindset, work on these tips. I really hope these tips would help you manage your cravings, because when you're able to handle your cravings, I'll be honest with you, almost 60% of your journey is done. If every human did not have the aspects of craving and not being able to control themselves, I'm not sure people will be overweight willingly, because if I'm not craving, then why am I eating? You just eat when you're hungry. But it is the craving part that makes our journey very, very difficult. So when you're able to get a hang of this, I assure you 40% of your journey is done. The rest will probably be your food portions and your food options and you being active. And I really hope this video helps you. Follow me on Instagram _JaneLouisa__ or on TikTok Louisa Jane. But the Jane, the A is double. I'll try and leave it in the video. Let's talk about tips. Look at how I eat in the day, the options I eat in the day, and incorporate it into your life. If you have any relatable experience concerning your cravings, if you've ever tried any of this before in your life, however the experience was, leave it in the comment section below. It can help someone, it can help myself, we can discuss. And the comment section is always amazing. I do not leave one comment unattended to. Even if it's a tip you want, I can always leave it in the comment section below when you ask. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you in my next weight loss video. Bye.